Hi, this is Stephen Bones and it's WildKatt Wednesday, and I wanted to talk today about healing, therapy, trauma healing, and particularly the use of what's called Soul Retrieval, which is a shamanic practice to help people. So if we start from the beginning and just give a snapshot, a lot of people, if they're down, if they're not feeling good, if you can feel that their energy is in a place where they could use help and support, I've noticed if I mention to them that there is support available, and don't even mention that I give support, immediately I get, especially from men, I'm okay, I don't need it, meaning that they can sort it out themselves. And one thing I can certainly say to you, after 6 years of being in this space, working with many people, helping many people, and also my own journey of healing and releasing and being in the space I'm in, where I love life, I am in flow. Very rare do I get down, and shit happens in my life, but again, because of the work I've done, I'm able to deal with it because my nervous system is very grounded and reset, and I've let go of a lot of the triggers. So what I'm pointing to is triggers are when we get into a situation that is uncomfortable, especially if we're feeling a little bit down as well. We can feel that sensation from somewhere here down to the groin area. It could be what people label anxiety. It could be where the chest comes together and into fight or flight. And there are various modalities out there. There's internal family systems, and I'm familiar with that, and I do sometimes use those techniques. I'm also a Satori Prime certified coach because I've gone through their programs, and again, that's what they call nervous protocol reset, and I work with that. But I also find most of my success comes from being able to do a soul retrieval, and what the difference is there is absolutely nothing. Most of these practices that I've just mentioned are based on shamanic work, shamanic wisdom, which isn't wrote down and isn't taught as an everyday thing by other therapists. It's handed down through certain gifted people. I wasn't aware that I was able to deliver this sort of work to people, and I've evolved over a period of time. I had a spiritual experience in 22 and it brought me to where I am now. And I keep evolving, I keep looking, and I'm very open to conversations about various things, even if people are absolutely adamant that there's nothing that can be done to help them. If that's their choice, then that's their choice. And I see the view, but I also see the view that they could be helped. So let's get back on to subject. The whole thing about when we get triggered, it can put us into a fear response. We get that anxiety, we don't feel right, and it's basically a trapped, without getting into the technicalities of it, it's basically a trapped energy in the system. So what these methods I've previously spoke to about is teaching people how to regulate the system, which again, I use those modalities sometimes because it suits people. And also it helps people to be guided to work with those trapped energies in the system that are causing these triggers. The difference is a soul retrieval is if the practitioner or the therapist can go into an altered state of consciousness and actually be guided to where what they call part of the soul, or what in modern terms is called the inner child, or the parts work, is sort of separated and been pulled away from the main soul. That's the shamanic wisdom around it. That's my perception of it anyway. And along the way, when I'm in an altered state and working with somebody, because we set an intention of what we want to work with, and I do describe what's happening along the journey, and the client just sits there and they may just feel just a slight movement or whatever. I have not yet had anybody that has gone into immense breakdown through it. So it's working with a loving, gentle, lovely energy, and I'm taken on a journey, and along the way there's a blockage, and I explain where the blockage is, and then I find the piece of the soul, the part, or the inner child, if you like, where it is, and then I bring it back and teach the client how to embody it in the system. That is simply what a soul retrieval is. Now, the reason I'm explaining all this, because I'm hoping next week that I've got a very special guest on that I've been working with for a while, and she very kindly volunteered to be a guinea pig, if you like, when I was in my early stages of training, and I also work with her still, and it helps me validate what I'm doing and how I'm working, because we all need practice, right? And that's what it is. So obviously I can't and wouldn't ask clients, paid clients, to come on here because it's confidentiality, etc., and I wouldn't want to compromise them. So this really special guest I've got will be coming on next week, so join me next week, and I'm going to really ask her to explain to you how she felt through a soul retrieval, as she's experienced quite a few, and what was coming up and what was in a felt sensation. So and what benefit it was to her as well. So look for me next week, and we'll catch you next week, and hopefully you'll be able to see how much this work can benefit you, and hope to see you soon. My website is stephenbones.com. You'll find me on Facebook under Stephen Bones. So I am around, and of course this is on YouTube, and so you can leave me messages or go onto my website and contact me through there. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Take care.